I feel clearly that this season can be mine, so I will do everything I can to finalize that.
The number 3 takes victory in race 1, an epic win. MX on 74 bursts into life here in Manitoba. It's going to be a very interesting first turn. And Cairoli ran the outside, and he and Colonel both go down.
Yeah, everything was going good, and then I had one big mistake. And...
Oh, Ben Watson! Off the side of the bike, and Italy are going to be crowned world champions.
The WMX class often struggles for hype and attention. That changed when Courtney Duncan came into the picture. Before Duncan had even stepped foot onto an MXGP track, there was hype, excitement, talk about just how good she is and how good she can be. And she backed all of that up by going 1-1 in her first WMX event.
So I got my first bike when I was 7 years of age, and at that point it was kind of, you know, just a hobby and something I did because my friends did. And it wasn't until I was about 12 or 13 I caught it on TV. At the time in New Zealand we had some pretty big superstars like Catherine Pram, Josh Coppins, Ben Townley overseas killing it on the world stage, and from that point it probably, you know, twisted my arm and made me think that's what I want to do. One day I'm, you know, going to be in that position, and one day I'm going to be going for a world title, and surely enough, you know, 10, 15 years later, here I am.
So Duncan now in second position and going after Livia Lancelot. Well, there's been a lot of hype around this young 20-year-old from the South Island in New Zealand. Around the outside, good drive there, and goes through the inside. Great move there from Courtney Duncan, who now leads at the end of the 4th lap, and she goes past Livia Lancelot. Will she be able to get her head down here now and take off at the front of the field? Final turn. Checkered flag about to be raised for the first time of the year, and Courtney Duncan picks up 25 points, wins Moto number 1 here in Qatar. Get ready to go racing for the second time here. WMX race 2, round 1 in Qatar. So Duncan leads the way here on the very first lap in WMX race 2. 151, the JCR Yamaha rider from New Zealand, makes it a perfect evening here in Qatar. She double moto wins here at the opening round, and that is a big win for her.
Oh, it's bittersweet right now. I'm over the moon. It's been a tough week, and coming in, you don't know what to expect. It's the first time I've ever been to a GP, let alone race 1. So just stoked to be able to be here, and I couldn't have done it without, obviously, my family. My dad's here, well, stepdad's here, and he's been unbelievable this week. Everyone over home's been just behind me so much. Obviously, my team.
I raced Courtney when she was on I first saw her ride when she was on a 65, and she lined up in a women's race in Christchurch in New Zealand. And at that time I was leading all of the championships and winning everything. So yeah, she wasn't competitive because she was on a 65. I think I was on a 125 or a 250F. And but I do remember watching her ride and thinking, she's something special. Actually, her last name obviously Courtney Duncan, and she used to have short little hair and looked like a little boy, and we used to think, is it Courtney Duncan or Duncan Courtney? So that was like the inside joke. And but yeah, she's actually, now the way she rides in Europe is probably at 80% or 70% of her ability, because she just wants to finish races now after losing all those championships due to just bad luck, you know, like she's had a photographer walk in front of her. And
oh, we've got Duncan, our race leader, is down, and she's taken a hit trying to sort her visor out on her helmet.
Yeah, the girls cut the track 1 year, and yeah, it's been a disaster. And then yeah, she was made to race an MX2 race in France and broke her foot without even crashing, so she's lost a lot of titles through bad luck. And now she kind of just does everything she can to stay on the bike and win the titles rather than go all out there. But when she rides at 100% without worrying about anything else or looking at the bigger picture, she's, I think, even 5, 6, 7 seconds a lap faster. She rides that much toned back now. So when she sets the fastest lap time in time practice in the women's class this year, we know she can do that lap every single lap. That's not one fast lap, that's her pace.
When Courtney Duncan finally won a WMX championship in 2019, it wasn't a case of being excited and surprised. It was more of a case of being like, finally. Because everyone in the paddock knew that Duncan was deserving of a WMX title. Misfortune just kept standing in her way.
And she is the 2019 FIM Motocross World Champion. And finally, she's done it.
I'm lost for words, just, it's indescribable. Like, I come out and I won my first race, and man, I expected big things out of myself and everyone around me also, and I just had to take my time and learn from all these mistakes and failures, and when we felt like quitting, we kept going, and here we are, world champion.
So when she finally got it done in 2019, it was more of a sigh of relief for everyone there that finally this impressive, amazing rider has got the job done. Duncan is similar to Jeffrey Hurlings in a lot of ways, where when she is healthy, when she is at her best, few people in the world think she can be beaten to a championship, and we've seen that now in 2019, 2020.
Here is Duncan, the #1 DRT Kawasaki. Third is enough to be crowned world champion for a second time.
This one's for everyone, you know, you just can't do this alone, so thank you. Woohoo!
Yeah, I don't know whether it's WMX or anything, but any world champion on a team is a plus if you market it right. You know, there's an audience for everything, and you know, for any product to be able to say, you know, they have a women's world champion is sort of demographically correct at the moment.
I think it was so tough because in 2016, my first pro race, I'd already set the bar so high for myself, coming out winning on debut, and you know, you think to yourself at the time, oh, this is going to be, you know, a little bit of a walk in the park, but you're just so naive and you're so young and you have so much to learn, and I made mistakes along the way, and I'm going to be honest and put my hand up and say a lot of them were my own fault. Just made stupid mistakes at costly times, and in the end they cost me race wins and cost me points, and ultimately that cost me championships. So I think I just had a lot of growing up to do, but it definitely tested me a lot. It tested the resilience, and there was times when I lay in bed, especially after losing that first World Cup with the injury, and thinking, do I want to do this? Do I want to keep going? But looking back at it, yeah, I'm definitely glad I did, and it's just something that you have to persevere with the time and learn from the lessons, and I can say it all paid off.
Check out those lines in the sighting lap, okay? Because there's a few different lines that they weren't taking in practice. That you can go inside a little bit more, even coming along the pit lane straight as well. They're going quite far out. I think you can come in a bit more here.
You know, one thing about Courtney is she sort of rides, you know, you wouldn't know if she was a guy. You know, she's sort of, you know, her corner speed and the way she sort of floats around the track is sort of pretty amazing. I'd say she has, you know, more corner speed than quite a lot of riders.
But here we are, temperatures 16 degrees, barely a cloud in the sky over the Dolomite Mountains here. It is the most picturesque racetrack that we have in Europe, possibly.
Not having, you know, your friends and family and comfort there can be tough sometimes, especially after a bad day, especially after a bad performance. But then again, like, when I pack my bags and say goodbye to my family, yeah, there's a huge purpose behind that. You know, you're flying 24 hours on the airplane to the other side of the world on your own, and I'm not just doing that to fill the gates. Like I say, I'm doing that because the purpose is to be a world champion, and I think it definitely drives me that extra bit further.
You ready? No panic. No panic. Doesn't matter if you get a bad start, nothing, just keep it. Look what happened last week. You get a bad start and you come through to first, so.
And the riders just making their way into position.
Going far. You want to push or you good? Good luck.
Pretty much a full lineup here today. WMX. Race 1 is underway. And that was Giorgia Montini. Oh, Montanesi upside down on the top of the hill. Has that pretty much decided the championship, because Montanesi did not look too impressed with that move and was looking a little bit slow to get back to the bike there. So if it stays like this, Duncan will be crowned world champion for the third time. Courtney Duncan, though, is world champion for the third time. Well, she puts all of that to bed here, and she can celebrate as a world champion for the third successive time.
What a feeling, man, to do it 3 times in a row, you know, with the same team, the same brand it's amazing. Words don't describe it.
The 2021 MXGP series has been phenomenal. The best ever, you could say. It could have been even better though. We were missing a star in Jeremy Sewer. He was on track, sure, but he dealt with so many obstacles throughout the season, mainly illnesses, sickness, that just stopped him from reaching his highest level until the very end. Imagine if he had been healthy the whole time. We could have had another rider in this phenomenal 5-way title fight.
Yeah, it's just amazing, you know, to experience this kind of stuff, doing our job, doing my job as an athlete, and using, the free days to find some places like that, and find some freedom for your mind, get some rest and really be by yourself, enjoy the view, enjoy the nature, because nature has a lot of strength, it's quiet here, you don't hear any noise, and it's just amazing to be here, and it gives me a lot of mental strength, and calms me down, clears my mind, and once I hit the trails back down, it's back to action mode, and I feel like I have all the energy again to line up on the start gate and perform.
It's a chilly day here in Trentino for this 16th round. Jeremy Sewer as relaxed as ever. He's there in 6th place in the championship, 13 behind Tony Carnaroli now. If the last 2 rounds have been anything to go by, then we are definitely going to be spoilt by the time we leave. 5 seconds. Who is it going to be that grabs that foxhole shot here? MXGP Race 1. Middle of the gate. It's one of the Yamahas. It's Sewer. He's got his teammate cold enough behind him. Febra's in there as well. So too Prado. Sewer leads the way by 2 seconds over Prado. Cold enough trying to go around the outside in third. Guy Safor, the Monster Energy Yamaha rider, in control right from the very first lap. Last race win was race 1 here, the penultimate round last year. The gap all of a sudden coming right down. We are going to have a last lap showdown. It's only 2.2 seconds between Sewer and Febra. Oh! Febra down! Pushing too hard! Jeremy Sewer is going to take his first win of the season, his first win in a year, his 11th career race win. Jeremy Sewer, take a bow.
Yeah, as I said, after the first moto, MXGP at the moment is tough, especially those 3 battling for the title. They go all in, they have to, so I try to do my best, and to win a GP, I'm speechless right now. I've never felt like this for a while, and it's amazing, I won a GP last year, but it wasn't the same. Now I crossed the finish line and I knew this one is mine, and it's incredible. A big thanks to all around me, especially like my mechanic. He's working day and night for me, and he brought me back where I am now, and now this is amazing. Thanks all of you.
Remember that Maxime Renault was not even a factory rider 1 year ago. He had 1 GP win under his belt. That came in Italy in September 2020. And when he took the 2nd GP win of his career in Great Britain in June of this year, it wasn't a surprise, but it was more a case of everyone thinking, oh, this rider can win the occasional race, the occasional Grand Prix. No one expected this to then become a regular thing. No one expected him to then become a dominant force. If anything, expectations were set at him becoming a podium regular. Quite low in comparison to what he's actually achieved, and now here we are, just a couple of rounds from the end of a championship, and he can win his first MX2 title with 2 rounds to spare.
And you can see everybody here enjoying the occasion here at this 16th round. Well, as the atmosphere continues to build, let's take a look at the top 5 in the championship as we head into MX2 Race 2. Maxime Renault now 101 points clear of Jago Geerts, which means if he finishes ahead of Geerts and Vial, he can be crowned world champion here today. MX2 Race 2, all eyes towards the right-hand side, centre of the gate, and once again, Tom Vial in there, Renault to the outside. He's at the inside of his teammate, Meniston, and Jago Geerts in there as well. And the lead has changed hands. Renault leads on lap 5. It's been a tough journey for him to overcome the injuries, the adversity, to turn it around, to continue to work hard. He can't believe it. And Maxime Renault will round out the final turn. He has realised his lifelong ambition. He is crowned MX2 World Champion. And he does it with a win. He does it with the Grand Prix victory.
Maxime Renault is an unexpected champion, but not unexpected in the sense that no one thought he could do it. Unexpected in the sense that it happened so quickly. I don't think even Yamaha, the contracts prove it. Yamaha didn't expect him to win this soon. No one did, let alone by such a healthy margin. Winning with 2 rounds to spare is no joke, but that speaks to just how phenomenal he's been this year.
I've been through so much tough moments and really big injury a couple of years ago, and could never even dream about that. And now today I'm here, I'm world champion, and yeah, just could make it happen with such a great team with Yamaha, Monster Energy. So I'm just the happiest today.
Welcome back to Italy for the final round of the FIM Motocross World Championship. It's round 18. It's taken a while to get here, obviously, for obvious reasons, but we are here in Mantova for the MXGP of Città di Mantova.
It's hard to believe that the MXGP class is coming down to the final round. It's so rare for a championship fight to actually come down to the final round or moto, let alone it be this close. We've got 3 riders who can win this thing quite easily. They're all capable, they've all proven they're capable. There is no way to predict how this thing is going to go, and that means it's an exciting time to be a fan. I've been really impressed with Febvre this season. No matter what happens, no matter if he wins this championship or not, this has been a real resurgence for him. He's going to have to go through Jeffrey Hurlings, and that's a rider that no one wants to face in a title battle.
People from the outside see him as quite a special guy. I mean, one that's maybe quite hard to crack, let's say, and kind of work out. For me, when I was in the 250, I was able to train with him together with Jackie, and yeah, we just got along good. I mean, there was no competition between us, you know, we was in separate classes, and yeah, just had a great friendship actually, and was able to work together really good, you know, on the track, off the track, with cycling. And yeah, I think he's one of those guys for me who is straight. He's not about all the bullshit of you need to be on this program and eating this, and he's just straight. He focuses on his job and gets it done.
I came there and I knew this guy became world champion, so he's good at something, you know. So I tried to watch him and see what he does, and he did do his thing. This is what I learned. Like, didn't matter what happened, who was there, what influenced him, negative things. He just followed his path, and he didn't turn left or right for anybody. He just hold his line, and I think that's what is making him good. And
talking to other riders about you, they think that your 2 strengths are being mentally strong and also your aggression. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Yes, yeah, no, I agree. And like you say also, I had some many bad years, bad injury, and sometimes I wasn't good enough. And I came back to fight and to be just better every year. And seems this year it's working pretty well. But you don't know what's gonna happen. You know, sometimes you can. Tomorrow I can get injured in 2 weeks or whatever. It's just you have to be really strong mentally. It's what I think I am, and yeah, you have to have some aggression also on the track to fight for the first position.
Coming into the final race then, Jeffrey Hurlings, Romain Febvre, they are tied on points. The only other time we've seen this, 1988, the 1-2-5 season, Jean-Michel Bayle and Dave Strybos. After race 1 going into the final round, both riders were tied for the lead with just 1 race remaining. Bayle won from Strybos to win the championship by 3. Who is it going to be today though? Fans on their feet. The anticipation is through the roof. We've got a green flag for the final time this year. The Fly Racing 15-second board is up. Next GP, race 2, it's gone. A good jump once again, and it's Febvre who squeezes Hurlings to the inside. Jorge Prado once again. And the top 2 in the championship, Linus Stern, as they go through there, and also Geiser splits Febvre and Hurlings. Is a direct shootout between the top 2 in the world right now, Romain Febvre and Jeffrey Hurlings. By leading Hurlings. Hurlings finds his way past. The fans have got exactly what they want to see. Oh, Febvre is down, coming out of the turn. It's hard and slick there as well. Jeffrey Hurlings a lap away from taking his 5th world title. Jeffrey Hurlings out of the final turn is the 2021 MXGP World Champion. He joins Roger De Costa, Joe Robert, Georges JBay, Joel Smets as a 5-time world champion.
A lot of people wanted to know what I would have done if I didn't win this championship this year again. I guess we'll never know.
There you have it then. Jeffrey Hurlings wins the 2021 MXGP title, and deservedly so.
Yeah, I feel mad to myself for sure, but that's racing. It's the hard way to lose, but it's like this. Yeah, I gave my all, and yeah, at the moment it's really tough, but yeah, I will go through and then battle next year.
Okay, thanks, Romain.
The 2021 MXGP series is going to be remembered for a very long time. 2022 could be even better though. Jeffrey Hurlings is going to be back to defend his crown. Romain Febvre is going to come out with a vengeance. Tim Geiser is going to want to reclaim the crown that he's lost, and that's not even mentioning Jorge Prado, Jeremy Sewer, and Maxime Renault. The MX2 World Champion is ditching his YZ250 FM and stepping up into the MXGP class for the first time with Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP.
July 8th. 1853. In Asia, an American expedition led by Commodore Matthew Perry arrives in what's now Tokyo Bay, Japan. It's the first step of a U.S. mission that establishes diplomatic and trade relations with Japan, isolated from the West for more than 2 centuries. 1839. John D. Rockefeller, founder of Standard Oil, which dominated the oil industry into the early 20th century, is born in Richford, New York. 1947. In New Mexico, word of what becomes known as the Roswell incident, a touchstone for UFO buffs. A local U.S. military office says pieces of what it calls a crashed disc have been recovered near the city of Roswell. But the military later says the material, found on a ranch, is really a top-secret weather balloon, not a crashed alien spacecraft. 1994. Kim Il-sung, North Korea's communist leader who launched the Korean War, dies at age 82. His son, Kim Jong-il, succeeds him in power. 1986. Kurt Waldheim is sworn in as Austria's president, despite controversy over his alleged ties to Nazi war crimes during World War II. And 1907. In New York City, Broadway showman Florenz Ziegfeld stages his first Follies on the roof of the New York Theater. Today in History, July 8th. Camille Bohannon, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,